2010, we had a huge opportunity come up to create a game for iOS using the Unreal Engine, which is something that had never been done before.
Now the challenge with this, however, was that all of that was happening 6 weeks from the time we were given this opportunity.
We had such a short amount of time and so many ideas that we had to really figure out which concepts really mattered to the game and whittle it down to just the few things that actually made the game super fun.
So we looked at all the different mobile games that were available at the time, and it seemed to us that a lot of games were trying to shoehorn console controls, console design sensibilities, console methodologies into this mobile game experience, and it just didn't seem like that was the right way to approach it to us. And the few games that we saw that we thought were really good on the system were games that had gone away from that and tried to design a game that was meant for that system, for a touchscreen device specifically. And so we made a few rules that we decided we were going to follow if we were going to make a touchscreen game. First rule was the game must be able to be played with one finger. The second rule was you must be able to have a meaningful, progressive game experience in under 2 minutes. The third rule was the game must be easy to learn but difficult to master. It must have true skill. And the fourth, final, and most important rule of all was this: if the game we were designing would be fun in any way to play with a controller, we were designing the wrong game. We loved fantasy, and we loved knights and monsters and dragons and things like that, but to us they never made much sense. You know, in order to have fantasy, there had to be a whole lot of suspension of disbelief where there's magic and wizards and mythological creatures that couldn't possibly exist. And we thought, well, what if we could take all the cool tropes of fantasy, but try and put a little science behind it.
One of the other things that we've been toying around with is the idea of human longevity and how people can live for long periods of time. And if someone was able to live for thousands of years, how would that affect the world? How would that affect politics? How would that affect wars? How would that affect how society functions? The whole experience has just been a blast. I'm so happy to have been a part of making Infinity Blade, and I'm so glad that so many of the players out there have so thoroughly enjoyed playing the games.
We were amazingly and pleasantly surprised when the game immediately took off and sold millions and millions of copies and has gone on to become the huge franchise that it is. It's just so amazing to see that there's people out there that love Infinity Blade as much as we do. And, ultimately, that's all we're really trying to do, is make a game that makes you happy and entertains you.